I'm going to be talking about insulin resistance in this video, why you do not want to be resistant to insulin, and unfortunately why half the country is either diabetic, obese, or suffering from pre-diabetes, and it's all related to being insulin resistant. Hello everyone, my name is Mike Cola and I've been a fitness trainer and gym owner for over 25 years. And if this is your first time here and you want to turbocharge your fitness, health, and nutrition, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Okay, now this video is going to be all about insulin. I'm going to explain to you what insulin is, then we're going to go into why you do not want to be resistant to insulin. You want a high sensitivity to insulin. You want to be insulin sensitive, okay? And then at the end of the video, I'm going to give you some great practical tips. So stick around to the end of the video. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think you should do to have insulin work to your advantage. Okay, first of all, insulin is pretty much the storage hormone. It's a hormone that's actually released from the pancreas pretty much whenever you eat a meal to store away those calories. Okay, let's talk about mostly carbohydrates in this video. Okay, so let's say you just had a meal that was relatively high in carbohydrates. Now, how the body works is that the body takes, as you're digesting these carbohydrates, pretty much mostly in the small intestine, the body releases glucose, sugar, into the bloodstream. Now, the body doesn't like too much sugar in the bloodstream. Maybe just a few grams of sugar is considered the normal amount of sugar in the bloodstream. Let's say somewhere around 5 grams, which is somewhere in the neighborhood of only about a teaspoon of sugar is the ideal amount of sugar in the blood. So the pancreas produces insulin to store away the excess sugar. And how it stores it away, it stores it in the form of glycogen, either in your muscles, and it stores it in your liver. Okay, you can only hold about 100 grams or so of glycogen, of say sugar, in your liver, and you can store anywhere between maybe 400 to 500 grams, depending upon how big you are, how much muscle you have, in your muscles in the form of glycogen. And that's insulin's job. It takes the sugar out of your bloodstream, stores it away in your muscles and your liver. Unfortunately, for so many people who are overweight, who are maybe pre-diabetic, what happens is that they're eating so many carbohydrates that their muscles and liver is full. The glycogen levels are full. So any excess calories, for example, say they're storing about 2,000 calories in the muscle and the liver, they're full. Any excess carbohydrates they eat is going to be converted into fat. So in my opinion, that's why insulin is also a fat storage hormone, right? So when insulin is high, it's trying to store the carbohydrate in the muscle and the liver. If it's full, it's going to lead to the process of actually you storing body fat, or your body fat, unfortunately, going up. Okay. The problem is that when people eat so many carbohydrates and the body's always producing insulin, like say you're eating frequent meals a day, you're eating a lot of carbohydrates all the time, is that your body becomes resistant to the insulin. Your pancreas just keep on producing the insulin, and it just can't do the job. And that's how people become, get metabolic syndrome, get diabetes, they get so many different type of health issues. And this is really what you want to avoid. You want the exact opposite. You want a very good sensitivity to insulin, meaning that when the pancreas produces a little bit of insulin, it works incredibly well. It stores away those carbohydrates into the muscle and the liver. Okay, and one key way of doing this is keeping your insulin sensitivity very high is not eating too many carbohydrates. We're going to go into that. I'm going to give you some specific protocols at the end of the video. But I don't want to make you sound like insulin is really a bad thing. Insulin's a great hormone. I mean, you need it to work well. For example, also, to synthesize protein. Insulin also opens the door to push protein into the muscle cells, to rebuild, like bodybuilders. People doing resistance training want their insulin to be elevated when they're looking to synthesize protein. And it's not like it's only carbohydrates that spikes your insulin. Protein can too, like whey protein shakes after a workout. Bodybuilders, resistant athletes like doing things like that. Physique enhancement athletes may have a whey protein isolate right after a workout, because they know that will also spike their insulin. And then the insulin pretty much is just, think of it as a storage hormone. Not only does it store carbohydrates in the muscle and the liver, but it also pushes amino acids, pushes proteins into the muscle cell to rebuild and get stronger. okay? And then, like I said earlier, it's also, in my opinion, a fat storage hormone. If you're eating too many carbohydrates and your liver and muscles are full, it's going to help store those excess carbs, excess calories in the form of fat. Okay, so the goal for everyone should be is like I said earlier, you want to be insulin sensitive. You want to eat a relatively low carb diet. I'm going to link up a bunch of videos that I do all the time talking about low carb eating. Okay, so let's give you some exact protocols you should follow that's going to prevent you ever from becoming insulin resistant, and it's going to make you very sensitive to insulin. So number one is, I'd like you to consider doing some intermittent fasting. And I'm going to link a video up about intermittent fasting, but let me tell you why fasting works so well to control insulin. Just think, when there's no food in your system, your insulin levels are incredibly low, right? They're extremely low. And also, the opposite hormone to insulin is called glucagon. Okay, that's the fat burning hormone. So insulin is the storage hormone. The exact opposite is glucagon, the fat burning hormone. So when you're in an empty stomach, when you're in a fasted state, even when you just like skip one meal, what happens? Insulin goes down, there's no food in your system, glucagon goes up with other hormones as well, and you're actually going to be burning fat. So that's the first thing I definitely should consider doing, number one. The second thing you may want to try for sure is just eating a moderate carbohydrate diet, low to moderate carbohydrate. You know, if you're eating 300, 400, 500 grams of carbohydrate a day, I think you're going to run into trouble at some point in your life. You're going to become insulin resistant. You're going to become pre-diabetic. Too much sugar, you know, just too much sugar in the system. Like we said earlier, your pancreas is going to be producing so much insulin to take that sugar out of your blood. Eat a moderate to low carbohydrate diet, tons of fibrous vegetables. You want to get all your micronutrients, you want your potassium. I did a great video on eating low carb and still getting enough potassium. I'm going to link that up as well. I would limit your carbohydrates to like 100 to 150 grams a day, 400 to 600 calories. You know, if you're crazy active, if you're a marathon runner, you may want to do more, blah, 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 unless you want to become fat adapted, which would be a great thing. I did a video on that as well. But the normal athlete who still runs on carbohydrates, limit your carbohydrates to 100 to 150 grams a day. You'll stay insulin sensitive, you know, you won't become insulin resistant. You'll never fill up your glycogen stores, and it's just a great amount of carbohydrates you could eat. And the third thing you want to do is make sure you just don't eat tons of those small meals every single day. I know that's somewhat popular, eating a bunch of small meals every day, but that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to keep on spiking your insulin. Every time you eat, your insulin is going to go up. So I would say really limit to no more than 3 meals a day if you possibly can. I'd say 2 to 3 meals a day would be fine, okay? And then the fourth thing you want to do is obviously you want to work out. Just think, when you're exercising, insulin levels are low. You know, you're burning calories, you're burning energy, you're not storing energy. So that's a great thing. Those are the 4 things I would recommend you do. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know this insulin resistant thing is a tremendous health issue in the country, but you really could control it by following the advice I gave in the video. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And once again, if you want to turbocharge your weight loss efforts, if you want to improve your fitness and nutrition, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out videos like this every single week. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day.